Alright guys, so we're doing my review on the K2 Plus. So, had it for over a month now. Loving it. Better than every bamboo machine that I've bought. Love it. Got the CFS. So you see your humidity here, your temperature. It does not have a heater. I wish it had a heater, but they have a Space Pie mod for it that you can do it, but you got to cut into it. I'm not doing all that. Purge is the same as the Bamboos does. Creality print's a little but we'll go into that in a minute. So we're going to go into about here, and as you can see, I have 14 days, 9 hours and 26 minutes of print time plus what's currently printing. This is 0.16 layers, and as you can see, it is great. This is being fed by the side spool. So not using the CFS, not a multicolor, but you can run the CFS and the side spool in conjunction with each other. So the first mod that I recommend getting is this Y splitter here. That's the first thing I did. And then they have some extruder problems with the PTFE tube, and I have to end up replacing it with a regular fitting. But I haven't had any issues. As you can see, I can, while it's printing, pull it off, and I'm still on stock everything. Running without a boot, but that's because I cut the old one up and I don't want to replace it. Now we get into the bad. So I received this about a month ago. Had a lot of issues with shipping. First off, the bottom hinge here was broke. I had to reattach it with a piece of double-sided tape and squish it for over 24 hours. The adhesive they use here is not that good. The door probably will end up falling off again at some point. But all in all, came shipped pretty good. Set it up, grand calibrations, print it great. This is not your regular bamboo printer. Yes, it does give you automatic Z offset, but it still needs tweaking every now and then. Perfect example is these coasters that I tried to print. You can see the salmon layers in them. It still has to be leveled. You have 4 bed leveling screws, and they are notorious for coming from the factory with warped beds. When I got this, it was warped at 0.9. Worst bed I've ever seen. Even my enders aren't that bad. Sure, the Bamboos are just as bad, considering the first layers I get out of them. I'm sure the Bamboos are close to the same problem. It does have the top glass. Does come with a USB port. Has the RFID. The camera has AI detection. So as you can see, you have AI detection, everything. I do not use the flow calibrations, everything. I calibrate my own stuff. Mine, it just doesn't like to stick to the corners of the bed. Other people haven't had an issue. But all in all, the quality is a lot better than my bamboo units. So, things that I think need to be improved on is definitely the screen. I'm not too happy with the screen. Like, if I want to change my Z offset, I have to go to settings and then expert mode and then offset or flow or whatnot. Though I am very happy that they gave me these settings. This is a full clipper printer. You have full access to clipper. You can load mainsail on it. You can root these. They come from the factory where you can root them. So as you can see, you have the root there. There's a couple improvements. It does have the chamber heater. It is very, very weak. It takes about 20-30 minutes to get up to temp, sometimes longer, depending how cold the room is. That's a design flaw. It does not suck air in through, the internal bed. It sucks it from outside. So that's part of the problem. There's mods for that. Another issue that I've had is anytime I increase my bed mesh size on the thing, it sometimes messes with the screen and I have to home from Clipper, from Mainsail to actually get it to work. But again, this is one of the best printers that I have in my lineup. It has been printing non-stop. I mean, it puts out some decent prints. This is at 0.2. And this came out great. And the first layer is pretty much. Of course, this is PETG, and PETG doesn't like me. This is ABS. Some ringing in there, but I'm also printing the ABS way too fast. So this is a me problem. One of the things you want is you want to have it on a stable table. I do not have it on a stable table. That's why I get some of the ringing that I get. There's a lot of complaints that I have with the CFS. One is constant retract issues. That may be due to my tubing being too long. I may have to run my own tubing and shorten it and do what I gotta do. Another one is, I don't know if you can see the bars there. They are spring loaded. So you open the CFS up by clicking the tabs over here and lift it up. But these are spring loaded. But they're very weak. And if you have a cardboard spool that is smaller than standard spools, it will not run. Of course, again, there's a mod for it, and this is the mod for it. That bar gets removed and these get put in place, and then you have several steppers you can use that I haven't done anything. But as for printing with exotic materials, love it. Prints ABS beautifully. I haven't printed the carbon fiber on it. I'll be doing that next. These come with hardened nozzles, standard. There's no nozzle upgrades like a Ruby or anything. I wish there was. That'd be what I threw in the machine. It's been a great printer. Set it up, do it. I haven't had any issues that weren't my fault. Even the retract issues, as soon as I hit retry, it fixes it. It's very easy to work on. It's 3 screws to get the extruder off and work on. You can do nozzle changes without taking the whole hot end off. It's a great printer, and it gives me the adaptability of an ender with, the comfort of a bamboo. So one of my main issues I have with Creality Print is Creality Print basically looks like a clone of Orca Slicer. Why am I not using Orca Slicer? Because at the time that I had gotten my K2, Orca Slicer was still working on the color for the filament system. And I haven't really put any time into it, and I really don't want to work with it real quick. But the K2 does have everything available here. If I open the details, I've got the camera. I can see what it's printing. The camera is decent quality. I mean, it is not the quality of my A1s. It is a lot better quality. I still get my readouts over here. I can change my fan speeds. And if I go up to here, I get my clipper interface I can access, and I can see all my speeds and everything, and my estimates and when it'll be done. I still get readouts. and you get all the information that you could want. You can see my bed level, which is absolutely horrendous. But I haven't really. I need to work with tape some more because that's what I use. But it's at a 0.6 right now. I had it down to a 0.3, and then I started messing with stuff and ruined it. I should have just left it at 0.3. But again, phenomenal print quality. I haven't had any of the issues. This is my first Core XY, and I am in love with it. It beats out my Bamboo A1s. It beats out my Enders. It is absolutely amazing. Auto tensions the belts by itself. It learns the cutter by itself. It learns all that stuff when you do calibrations at auto bed levels. Now I'm running a couple scripts, which you can see here for like the bed mesh. And this, what the bed mesh does is it makes it actually heat soak the bed before it does a bed mesh. So I have it set to bed mesh at 85, and it will soak it for 10 minutes. I'll take that little extra time to make sure the bed is actually full warp because it's enclosed. But this is stuff you can't do on a Bamboo. You know, you can't write little macros and everything. These macros are actually from K2 Improvements. I forget the guy's name that did it, but it's on GitHub. And as you can see, it heat soaks. You know, it shows what the Z comp is. I'm really impressed. It is a quiet machine when it's not running fast. Like, I have different setting modes. So when you come back over here, you can go into it and say I want to change the speed. I have ultra fast. I have silent, standard, silent, stable. I can change the bed temp, the fans. I can choose to do whatever I choose to do with it. Calibration tab, that's what you got. Your print settings, which we were already in. The filament. One thing I do not like about Creality Print is I cannot change my spools unless I'm touching the screen. However, it still is nice. You have Ethernet with this printer, something that the new Bamboos didn't get, the H2D. I think this is a better printer for the money. For $1,500, I'm getting a 350 by 350 by 350. I'm getting Core XY. I'm getting all the add-ons. I'm getting the camera. I'm getting the AI detection. I'm getting the CFS. And for the size of this thing, it is great. One of my biggest complaints of it is how heavy it is, though. This thing is 75 to 100 pounds, maybe a little less than 75. I didn't weigh it. So don't quote me on that, but it took two of us to set it up here. It is very bulky and takes up a lot of space. But all in all, I am 100% impressed with it. The quality that I'm getting out of it is just great. Like, even looking, it's printing absolutely amazing. So they come with the new K2 unicorn nozzles. You cannot swap these between the K1s, though. The K1s have a shorter nozzle, where these have a longer nozzle. You can pick these up. You also can find different build plates on AliExpress. This one's a dual-sided plate with carbon fiber on the bottom and PEI on the top. You get a standard PEI when you get the printer. And their PEI holds like a PEI sheet should. It holds like a PEI sheet should. It doesn't do this adhesion crap like the Bamboos do. Most of the time I have to have a brim. As you can see, I do not have a brim on that. It looks amazing. It's holding. It's printing fast, don't have to slow it down, don't have to play with it, don't have any issues with the extruder, panicking. Occasionally, I will get a fault saying the print quality looks off, and that's partly because I'm using this professional. So there's your readings between the professional and the conventional. I've put a lot of hours on this printer. Got over 400 hours on it. It has done great. It has not shown me any problems that would make me hate it. I literally set up my Bamboo A1s and print it, the first items, and they layer shifted. The quality was bad. And I was using the filament they supplied and tried to print the things off the SD cards. I had a Benchy, and printed it, and it printed absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for a big build space and you're looking for a Core XY, this is the go-to. This is... Creality did a phenomenal job. They worked out all the kinks. It is very good. They're constantly updating, constant new firmware updates, always improving. And something that I like that Bamboo doesn't have is you can exclude objects on the screen. You don't have to go back to the PC, and you don't have to play with the app. You don't even have to use the app. The app is nice though. Something else that the Creality Cloud app has is a slicer built into it. That is a game changer for me. The fact that I can actually slice an item from Creality Print, set my filament, set my settings up, slice it in the app and send it off and do it is just amazing. It's one of the best printers that I have seen, and I work with the Enders all the time. I don't have to repair it. I'm still, a lot of the issues that I'm seeing on the Facebook pages, I believe are user error, because a lot of people are complaining about their Z offset and stuff like that. Unless you've got a Bamboo, you're used to changing that. And this pretty much really gets it close. It's only anywhere from 0.2 millimeters off sometimes. It all depends where I set the stuff on the bed. The bed warp, there's things in the K2 improvements to get it. I use painter's tape. Some people use the aluminum tape. Some people mill new beds. If your bed is really that far off, Creality will send you a new bed free of charge if you contact their support. Creality support is amazing. They offered me a new door assembly, or for the hinge, or a roll of filament, This is their PLA Hyper that comes with the machine when you get the CFS. So I got the CFS system and came with 4 rolls of filament. They gave me a white, a black, a red, and a blue. All their Hyper PLA, and it's got the RFID tags. The other thing that might draw you to doing the K2 instead of the Bamboos is they allow third-party RFID tags. So I can tag the spool on the side with an RFID tag, and it will read it. It is amazing. So, yeah, check it out. Get one. Maybe not. But it is a great printer. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you look into it. For the $1,500 price point, this is the absolute X1 killer. For the same price as an X1, to get the same features as an X1, is just a better deal. So check it out. See what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll get to it.